Hafa everyone watching at home. We are here at John F. Kennedy High School and we are joined by Miss Collette Beausoliel. She again is one of 3 finalists for the 2025 Presidential Awards. And again, this award is recognizing STEM educators. So Miss Collette, thank you so much for having us today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's
Thank
an
you.
honor to be here.
It's an honor to be speaking to you. Again, we are profiling and covering the 3 finalists, and you're one of them here at JFK. And guys, she is no stranger to our airwaves. We know that you also won the Teacher of the Year as well.
The Guam State Teacher of the Year 2024 is Miss Collette Beausoliel from JFK.
So kind of backtracking a little bit, can you take us through your teaching journey? When did you start? What made you want to be a teacher?
Okay, well, I started a long time ago. 1989 was my first year on Guam. I had been teaching for a year prior to that in the States, and I wanted an adventure for a year. And so there was an opportunity to come out here, and I took it. And so, yes, that was 1989. Inarahan was a high school then, yay, way back in the
yes,
day.
Yes,
so I started there, and then after 4 years there, I moved up to John F. Kennedy High School. A friend of mine, Dana Figueroa-Leong, was the chemistry teacher, and she and I had worked together on some projects, and she said, hey, why don't you come up? So that brought me to JFK, and I've been here ever since.
Wow, and I know I've met many people in passing who have mentioned that you were their former teacher, including our own Matsuki Hirayama. You were her former teacher.
Yes. In fact, she sat right over there.
Hey, shout out Suki.
Shout out.
There we go. But you know, including her and so many other people, they've said that you have just been such an incredible teacher, really got them into the subject, you know, and I know that sometimes STEM, right, it's not always, some people are afraid of it. You know, it could be complicated, but I think you have a way of really helping to make it engaging, break it down. So can you tell us why that's so important to get students involved in that?
Well, I think it's just important because the more we know, the better informed our community is, you know, the better we all are, right? So I just think, you know, my role is STEM, yes, but I just think it's about helping these young people become the best human beings they can possibly become. And so doing that through science, I'm passionate about science, but I'm such a nerd, you know, learning anything is always exciting to me. And I've had students say, you know, I took your class not because I wanted to go into STEM, but I just enjoyed learning from you. And I think it's about enthusiasm. And I really think if teachers are passionate about what they do, that radiates out. And the students can't help but get on the bandwagon, like, okay, I never thought this would be interesting, but let's figure out how fast that coconut's going when it hits the ground out there, when it's dropped off the roof of the building. So I think that, just that engagement and really enjoying watching them learn. I mean, that drives me, it energizes me, and I think we just feed off of that. So I think that's been the key to success. I didn't plan to be a teacher. That was not my life ambition. Like I always tell the students, I have 18 credit hours that allow me to be in a classroom with children because my undergrad degree was in biology and chemistry. And I didn't pursue the options in medicine that I had originally thought of. You know, life happens, things happen. And so I went a different direction, and I do believe we get guidance all the way through, and you know, we push on that universe, and when we go forward, then we're making the right decision.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, I ended up in education. Long story how I got here, but it's been a great career. One I never anticipated.
Definitely rewarding nonetheless, right?
Yes,
and
totally.
Speaking of that rewarding moment, I know as a teacher, there's so many, right, to choose from. Is there one that kind of stands out for you where, I asked this to your former student, Mr. Mark, who's also a fellow finalist.
Yes.
But was there like a light bulb moment that happened for one of your students where they grasped a concept for the first time and it was rewarding for you?
Well, I think that's what keeps teachers in the classroom. And that's what keeps us from going into administration and moving up the ranks in the profession, because that happens a lot for good teachers. And so I've been blessed to have those moments, and you can't put a dollar value on it.
Yeah.
But that is the big payoff. That is the reward. So
yeah.
I can't really name one, but if I had to just pick, it would be a young man. And I can still remember where he sat in the old building here at JFK. Our bell.
There we go. I was like, we just want to acknowledge that that's the bell. I think we can still hear. Yeah.
That is the longest bell in history. Anyway, Francis Tightno Smith. He was seated in a row in our old building, and it overlooked the Tumon Bay, right? It was just a beautiful view from that classroom. And one day we were studying satellite motion and geostationary satellites and how they function. And I still remember he was sitting 4 seats back from the front and on the last row, right by the windows. And he pointed at his book and he said, "This is what I am going to do." And at the moment, it was just sort of one of those, wow, this fellow knows what he wants, right? Long story short, he did go on to become an aerospace engineer. He went to Embry-Riddle, and I remember when we joked after he graduated, and he came back and was at a family party there with them, and he said, "Look, I think I'm your first rocket scientist." And
wow.
I said, "Yes, I believe you are." And he was. So that's a great story, right?
Yeah.
And there have been many other students through the years, but in terms of that first one, and that was a long time ago because Francis is middle-aged. I mean, he's up there, right? So yeah, that was years ago, but.
And I know that you don't do this for the reward or the recognition, but you have received so much recognition, rightfully so, including this 2025 Presidential Award. So I guess, how does it feel to receive this recognition and to be a finalist?
Well, it's wonderful, to be so highly thought of by the administration and my colleagues in the profession, right? So that's very rewarding. What makes this really special, I would say, is that the 2 former students of mine, and of JFK are also in this with me. They are up for math, right?
Yes.
So that's very rewarding. But
yeah.
Just to receive this recognition, it's just really, it's different each time, but it's always something I'm very grateful for, and I just thank all the students who've made me successful.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it's they who have made that happen.
Definitely. And congratulations again on Teacher of the Year, and of course for this 2025 Presidential Award.
Thank you so much, Destiny.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.